Here we go again. The French government became authoritarian. Yes, President Macron has now mandated everybody, essentially the police officers, can go around the streets of Paris and other places to randomly ask people to show evidence and their certificates that they are healthy or immune. Makes no sense. I'm going to explain why. And the biggest problem of what the French are now doing, we are talking about this problem, potential problem coming up in this country, in the United Kingdom, with Boris Johnson's government trying to come up with this idea of these passports to become essentially mandatory without calling them mandatory. Well, the French are already doing it, and in a very, very bad way. So this is the footage that we have from Paris, where the police are randomly approaching people who are just sitting down outdoors with their friends and families drinking coffee. Yes, this is simply about social control. This is what the governments are now doing. And the biggest hypocrisy of this is that, of course, same governments and politicians who kept changing their mind over the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, on these measures, whether covering your face is good or bad or everything else, or whether antibody tests are actually good, could be useful or not. Apparently they're bad now. So the problem here is that the same politicians and governments who are enforcing these measures, put aside lockdown and the concept of the virus and everything else aside, that's a whole different debate. This specific thing, the passports. So people at the top who are now making different decisions, and they want all of us to have the evidence that, look at me, I've got a passport, so I'm clean. Just trust me, I can do whatever I want to do now. I got my liberties back. That's what they say. Well, in reality, it's already been proven because they said it when Sajid Javid, and now obviously Boris Johnson and everybody else had to go into isolation. They are double jabbed, yet they can still catch and carry the airborne virus. Well, so what happened? I thought the problem was that if, they say if you have the passport, that means you're clean, so you could be free. You could go to a nightclub, you could kiss everybody and hug everybody and just dance around because you got the passport. Well, because you're double jabbed. Well, you just told us that even if you're double jabbed, you can still catch and carry and give it to others. So what's the point of this? What are we actually trying to do? Who are we trying to protect? Because if you genuinely want to protect people, and if you say that you're all the jabs, regardless of the brand, and like in all the big pharma and which companies actually done it, apart from some of the Chinese ones, if you say that they're very, very good, if you say that they are actually going to help you not to avoid catching it, but help you stay alive and not get bad condition, then what does it matter if someone goes into a restaurant who's not double jabbed, so he doesn't actually have a passport, and someone who actually has a passport? They're both going to give it to you anyway. They can still carry it. So what are we trying to do? That's the problem that we have, and the governments are not really answering any questions, the politicians in charge of this program. That's the biggest hypocrisy of this and the biggest flaw of the whole system. So it's all about social control, and you should say no to this. Now, again, it's one of those things, before I finish this, the rest of it, as you saw, that some of the words I had to self-censor. I can't really say them. And also the rest of it we'll be discussing further in the Daily Show at 6 p.m. every day. So go to mytousi.co.uk, sign up, have a look around the website and all the big changes that we made, because we've also made additional changes in terms of the members of the channel, the contributors, regular contributors who are going to be on screen with me on a daily basis and weekly basis as well. So check it out and join us, and I'll see you on the other side.